We'll get through all of Tesla stock news in just a moment, but first, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Here's what happened. Yesterday, when I was researching one of the videos, I opened this file, and of course, I zoom in because I have multiple screens that I'm working with. I have one big screen in front of me that is maybe 10 feet away, so 3 meters. I have another screen right here that's pretty close to me. And then I have another similar screen like this. And this big screen, even though it is bigger than this one, it's not that much bigger. So for me to see things clearly, I usually zoom in. And so I zoomed in and I was working on another thing on this screen. And then a few minutes, I come back later, just like how I was looking at this screen just a moment ago, because like, oh, Credit Suisse. Oh, interesting. Okay, let me come back to this. So I come back to this. It's already zoomed in. And I'm like, okay, let me just make sure that Tesla is actually the safest vehicle in this test, because we would normally assume that, but I never want to be, I never just want to assume things. I want to double check everything. And I go one by one. And yeah, Tesla is the safest vehicle on this list. I mean, this one is fairly close, but it's still not better than Tesla. And then today I am making a video and I'm recording things and I want to pull this up, and when I open this, it's like, oh, how come this one is all green? I didn't see that yesterday. I should have caught it yesterday when I opened this and then I pointed out that Tesla did not get the perfect score here. I should have noticed this here, but I didn't. I'm sorry. So disregard my statement from yesterday that in this test, Tesla scored the highest. However, this is specifically for a front crash test. This is not an overall safety score for the vehicle. This top speed list, which was published just now, says that the Mustang Mach-E is the 10th safest vehicle on this list, and the Model Y is number 2, and number 1, of course, is Model 3. So overall, the Model Y still appears to be safer. I just want to know, what is the actual truth? It doesn't matter to me if I like it or not. And even though I am a Tesla stock bull, I will point out when I think Tesla is doing something. For example, Tesla China denies media reports of output cut at Shanghai plant. That was on December 5th. And then on December 24th, Tesla suspended production at Shanghai. This had nothing to do with Christmas because they don't celebrate Christmas there. And remember how Tesla China specifically, said that report claiming upcoming Model Y price drop is false. And then Tesla did cut prices in China. I pointed that out. So I do not trust what Tesla China says specifically, which is different from Elon Musk and different from everyone outside of Tesla China. And that's one reason why I was a little bit skeptical when Tom Zhu said that there is a lot more demand in China already when we looked at the numbers, and they were sort of not exactly great weekly delivery numbers within China. But now clearly the numbers are good. So I like Tom. That builds credibility. I think we can probably trust him. We will give him some more time, but looks like we can probably trust him. I just want to know what the actual truth is. And the reality is, almost always, the truth favors Tesla and Elon Musk very heavily. But there are exceptions occasionally. So I want to find out what these exceptions are when they do happen. I didn't mind Tesla denying the price cuts. I think you have to do that, otherwise people will just stop buying cars during that period of time. I'm fine with that. But I was not happy with this report right here. There were leaks that indicated that production would be indeed cut, and that is exactly what happened later. My reasoning at the time was, if it's for upgrading the facility, and especially if Tesla is perhaps working on redesigning one of their current vehicles or working on the new compact vehicle, that's totally fine. And maybe that is what happened. I don't know for sure because they haven't announced the exact plans for the compact vehicle. So that's not exactly clear yet, but it did not really look that good. In the end, though, it did coincide with China changing its policies about the virus, and I have friends in Shanghai, and they said everyone was literally sick. So that shutdown might have happened anyway, but even Tesla Daily reported about that scheduled production shutdown back in early December. So we will probably know the truth eventually, just that right now we don't know for sure what happened yet. Either way, I'm not concerned about that at all because in the long term, Tesla will release cheaper vehicles and that's where most of the sales will come from. So if I see something, I will share that with all of you. And if I realize, oh, okay, there is new information, I will share that with you as well, and if I make a mistake, I will correct myself. And now let's dive into Tesla stock news. There is quite a bit. Tesla is changing the entire Volkswagen Group in Europe's daily reporting BEV markets. Volkswagen has brands such as Volkswagen, of course, Audi, and Skoda, and a few others, and you can see here that there is a good chance Tesla will pass the whole Volkswagen Group this quarter in Europe. If we just look at individual brands and only battery electric vehicles, then we will see that clearly Tesla is way ahead of everyone else. And here's how Tesla compares to itself in Europe. These are sales in daily reporting countries. And right around here, when I saw this, I was like, a buying opportunity probably is coming, maybe. If this continues like this, then we will be way ahead of the last quarter. These price cuts are indeed helping a lot. It certainly appears it will be a record quarter. The question is, by how much? And most importantly, what are the margins going to be? That is the big question. However, please do keep in mind that these four countries that do report sales daily only account for 17% of Tesla's sales. Not globally, but specifically in Europe. It appears to me that Cathie Wood right now is more bullish on Tesla stock than she was early in January or late in December when Tesla bottomed. Here's why. When her total position in Tesla stock dropped below 10%, she immediately bought more. And this is a relatively small amount for ARK Invest. Usually they like to buy Tesla stock in batches of 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 10 million and more would be a bigger batch. So they bought this little. Basically immediately once they were able to, that to me signals they are very bullish on Tesla stock. We have a lot of concerns about Credit Suisse potentially collapsing, and for a good reason, really. You look at their history, it does not look good at all. And that bank is quite a bit bigger than Silicon Valley Bank. So this could be quite serious, although I really don't think it's anything close to 1929. The bank runs back then were caused by a lot of lending. So if you had, for example, Tesla stock, you could borrow a lot of money against Tesla stock and then do whatever you wanted with it. And then when the market crash happened, everyone lost all of their money and the banks just started going bust. We have new regulations in place, and I don't think a bank run would be caused by that. We have a very different situation, although there are some similarities. I think there are a lot more differences than similarities. There is good news here. Tesla wins lawsuit against a Chinese influencer over false rumors forcing an apology. So that's good. Hopefully that will deter other people from doing the same, and that should help Tesla pick up some more demand in China. From Torque News, Tesla has won a lawsuit against BYD in China. According to the report, a BYD dealership blatantly fabricated and spread misinformation about Tesla brakes failing. The BYD dealership was forced to apologize on social media for the wrongdoing and had to pay a fine, although the fine is very small. But if you have to publicly apologize, then the word gets out, oh yeah, when you say things about Tesla that are not great, yeah, we know, probably, perhaps, you might be lying. This happened about 5 days ago, then that report came out, so I think that is also contributing at least a little bit to higher sales in China. More good news. February producer price index came in at 4.4%, notably below the estimate of 5.2%. This just means that companies can buy things at lower prices than expected before. I mean, it's still increasing, but the increase was not as high as expected. So hopefully all of this shows up in Tesla's profits. We'll see. Lithium is falling. Elon says version 11 starts going wide this weekend. I wouldn't really count on it, but we'll see. A higher number for the first time in a long time of Model S's and X's have arrived to China. I saw a slightly misleading post on Twitter that was getting quite a bit of attention today. It shows that inventory level in the US supposedly is extremely high. But to get a good picture of the real situation, you have to look at individual models. So if you look at the Model S, it's trending up slowly, but the Model S, that's not really an important vehicle to Tesla overall, though. If you can get a lot of sales for these, we will take all of them. The Model 3 is mostly fine, really. The Model X, though, that's where everything is coming from. And the Model Y, the inventory level is quite low. So Tesla will probably do something with the Model X. Possible price cuts? Well, when the inventory level for one of these vehicles stays elevated for a longer time, usually we do see more price cuts from Tesla. He also did clarify that his chart mostly refers to the S and the X, and also the 3 though. I think for the Model 3, we need a few more days of data until we can make a strong conclusion what is happening with it short term. But yeah, I think most people that saw this tweet thought, if they don't know the whole situation, they would have thought that overall Tesla's inventory is terrible, which it's not. And this is the Tesla stock buying opportunity explained by Elon Musk. My name is Matt Posius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.